Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the acting Premier. It's Universal Children's Day, and children's aid workers are here today with a dire warning for this government. The cuts to child welfare services under the Liberals were bad, but they've gotten worse under the Ford government. One CAS worker from Woodstock called it death by 1,000 cuts. Year over year, cuts to these agencies have resulted in frontline job losses and service cuts, but it's the kids in care who ultimately suffer. They can't wait and hope that maybe the Premier will raise money for them through a Cash for Access dinner. Will the Premier reverse the cuts to children's aid that began under the Liberals and that continue under the Conservatives?
The Deputy Premier.
The Associate Minister for Children, Community and Social Services.
Associate Minister for Children.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thanks to the member for your question. Our vision is for an Ontario where every child and youth who is receiving services through the child welfare system has the best supports possible. Children and youth receiving services in Ontario's child welfare system deserve the best care and support that we can provide for them. And their safety and well-being is our top priority. And I can assure you, as the minister and as a mother myself, children and youth are our top priority. I wanted to talk about our modernization system that's taking place and looking at prevention. And I wanted to congratulate Toronto Children's Aid Society today on launching their Journey to Zero program. We know that the system is broken and that we can be doing better. In August, I announced that we would be opening the modernization program, where we are engaging youth and families, caregivers, Indigenous partners, frontline workers, family law professionals, and child welfare sector leaders on their experiences and ideas on how we can strengthen the child welfare system. Thank you.
Supplementary question.
Thank you, Speaker. Modernization should not be a euphemism for cuts. My Speaker, this question is back to the acting Premier. When this government cut a planned increase to social services by half, they made life more precarious for recipients of Ontario Works and Ontario Disability Supports. Poverty costs all of us between $27 and $33 billion a year. The government is apparently stuck in the discredited notion of trickle-down economics, but what trickles down from an economy that benefits the Premier's friends is not opportunity, but food insecurity, unstable housing, uncertain access to better education, and more homelessness, all of which leaves people further behind and without hope. Will the Premier clearly state that he will reverse the deep cuts he's made to OW and ODSP?
Question's been referred to the Associate Minister for Women's and Children's Issues.
Minister of Children, Community and Social Services.
Referred to the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services.
Well, thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. Our government's focused on a broader plan to ensure that we lift people up who are on social assistance. Just an interesting stat for you that during the 15 years that the previous government was in power, we saw the number of individuals receiving social assistance increase by 55%, Mr. Speaker. We can do better. We can do better than that, and that's why we're working to ensure that those who are on social assistance have received an increase in their funding by 1.5%. But we're also ensuring that those who are on social assistance, and I think the one thing that's probably the most staggering about the Ontario Works stats is that there are almost 500,000 people on Ontario Works, and half of those individuals are under the age of 24. Speaker, we need to be doing more to ensure that those individuals, when they can, are entering into the workforce. And that's why working with my colleague, the Minister of Labour and Skills Development and Training, that we're preparing those individuals to join the workforce so they can stand on their own, raise a family, own a home. That's what we're doing. The best social program